There is a stone fireplace in this home that has stopped every single person who has walked into this room completely cold. Not impressed, not admiring. Stopped. The way you stop when you see something that your brain needs an extra moment to process because it is more beautiful than you were prepared for. It goes floor to ceiling. The stone was sourced from a single quarry site and chosen piece by piece for how the pieces fit together. The firebox is wide enough that 4 people could sit around on the floor and everyone would feel its warmth equally. The built-in seating on either side, because yes, there is built-in seating flanking this fireplace, is upholstered in a bouclé so thick and warm you want to press your face into it. And the way this fireplace anchors the entire home, the entire design philosophy, the entire material story, the entire reason this house feels the way it feels, is something I have never seen executed this completely anywhere else. But here's the thing. We have not even been inside yet. Because before we get to the stone fireplace, before we get to the room that stops people cold, this home has an exterior, a front approach, a garden, and an entry sequence that are each extraordinary in their own right. And all of them are leading you toward that fireplace. Today, I am taking you through every step of that journey. Stay until the very end. Because the detail about this stone fireplace that nobody notices on first look is the thing that makes it different from every other beautiful stone fireplace built in 2026. Before we take one step closer, if cozy modern homes, dream-worthy stone fireplaces, and the design details that make extraordinary interiors feel the way they do are your thing, subscribe right now and ring that bell. New videos every week, and this channel is the most beautiful place your home design obsession has ever lived. Let's go. Stand at the end of the driveway of this home. Take it in before you approach, because the exterior is already making a promise, and the interior is going to keep it completely. In 2026, fireplaces are no longer just functional fixtures. They're the focal point, the standout feature, and the soul of every living space. The trend blends natural stone, smart fireplaces, and bold fireplace surrounds into cozy, contemporary interiors. The material story of this home starts on the exterior. Board and batten siding in a deep, warm slate gray. A standing seam metal roof in a weathered bronze that picks up the warmth in the gray of the siding. And across the lower section of the facade, wrapping the base of the building from the garage to the main entry, natural stacked stone in the same palette as the siding. Warm gray, slightly rough, real. That stone on the exterior is not decorative cladding. It is the same stone that is inside. The same quarry, the same color family, the same piece-by-piece intentionality. The exterior stone is telling you something. In this house, what you see outside is what you will find inside. The building does not have a public face and a private face. It has one face, honest in every direction. The front entry door is a pivot door, solid steel frame with frosted glass panels running its full height, hung on a floor-mounted pivot rather than side hinges, so the entire door swings from a central point. The physical gesture of opening it, pressing lightly and watching the massive door move effortlessly, is the first experience this home gives you. And it is a good one. The door feels precise and deliberate in a way that immediately communicates that everything behind it was made with the same precision. Through the pivot door, and the entry immediately establishes the material language of the whole home in a sequence of surfaces that takes about 8 steps to walk through. The floor is large format limestone tile, a warm cream stone with subtle gray veining, laid in a running bond with barely visible grout lines. Cool underfoot, warm visually. The contradiction of a cool material in a warm tone is the entry's first design complexity, and it works because every material in this house exists somewhere between those two states. Modern and cozy simultaneously, precise and warm. There's something instantly grounding about a fireplace wall. The pale, textured stone rises with quiet confidence, framed by warm wood built-ins that feel collected rather than styled. When done right, it just adds depth and keeps the space from feeling too one-note. The walls in the entry are warm white plaster, hand-applied, slightly textured, the surface catching light differently as you move through the space. Not smooth, not rough, somewhere between. The material equivalent of a quiet voice that says everything important without raising its volume. At the end of the entry, framed by the cased opening into the great room, the stone fireplace is visible. Not close enough to read yet. Not fully revealed. Just present. A vertical column of warm gray stone at the far end of the sight line, partially visible through the opening. The entry is 12 feet long. The fireplace is 40 feet beyond the entry, and it is already drawing you toward it before you have consciously decided to move. Step through the cased opening from the entry into the great room, and the ceiling jumps from the entry's 9 feet to 17 feet at the peak. The same spatial compression and release that the best residential architecture uses, and that always, without exception, produces a physical response in the body before the mind is caught up. And then the stone fireplace. From sleek stacked stone to rustic floor-to-ceiling statements, these fireplaces add depth, character, and a cozy focal point that instantly transforms any room. That soaring ceiling paired with a vertical stone fireplace instantly draws your eye upward. The dark accent walls on either side frame the stone beautifully, giving a modern edge without losing the cozy factor. It becomes the heart without needing to compete with the architecture around it. The stone on this fireplace is a dry-stacked ledge stone, pieces of warm gray quartzite laid without visible mortar, their edges tied against each other, the joints between them becoming shadow lines rather than grout lines. The effect is completely different from mortared stone, where the grout provides the background and the stone pieces sit in it. Dry-stacked stone is all stone, all surface, all texture. The wall behind the firebox does not exist. There is only stone. The fireplace runs the full height of the great room, from the limestone floor all the way to the roof ridge at 17 feet. Not a fireplace with a surround and a mantel and some stone above it. A full 17-foot column of dry-stacked quartzite, the firebox opening cut directly into it at the lower third with no frame, no trim, no interruption, just the opening and the stone on every side of it. The stone itself becomes the statement. Larger, irregular pieces fit together like a puzzle, creating movement and depth before you even notice the firebox. The movement in the stone, the way the eye travels across the surface from one piece to the next, finding different sizes, different shapes, different depths of shadow, is what separates dry-stacked stone from any manufactured surface. Every piece was placed by hand. Every joint was considered individually. The wall took 6 days to build, and it looks 6 days and some number of years from now, exactly as it will look 200 years from now. The stone does not age. It deepens. High contrast combinations, like black fireboxes with light stone surrounds, give a modern edge. Neutral tones like taupe and greige are popular for grounding living spaces, especially when paired with natural stone or mixed materials. The firebox opening in this stone fireplace is 52 inches wide and 36 inches tall. Wide enough to take 4-foot logs. Wide enough that the flame is not a point of light in the room, but a horizontal band of warmth that reads across the full width of the fireplace from every seat in the great room. This design highlights a refined stone mantel with graceful curves, framing a firebox lined in herringbone tile. It is a classic yet fresh approach that feels traditional, but still suited for today's modern farmhouse interiors. The subtle contrast of pale limestone with warm wood cabinetry nearby balances elegance with comfort. The firebox interior is lined in a dark, hand-set firebrick in a small running bond, the same warm gray-black tone as the darkest pieces in the quartzite surround. The firebox does not contrast with the stone around it. It recedes into it, a dark opening in a dark stone, the flame itself providing the contrast rather than any manufactured material. When the fire is lit, the firebox disappears, and the flame appears as if from the stone itself. The effect at night, from across the great room, is extraordinary. The stone wall glows. The flame hovers. The architecture steps back and lets the fire lead. The hearth extends 3 feet from the firebox face in the same limestone as the entry floor, the material completing a loop from the front of the house to the center of the great room, the floor outside becoming the hearth inside, 4 inches lower than the limestone floor around it. Just enough to create a visual distinction, just enough to make sitting on the hearth edge feel like choosing a specific place rather than simply sitting on the floor. The return of the inglenook brings cozy, built-in seating with stone or timber benches, combining function, style, and entertainment in one unit. Multi-use spaces benefit from fireplaces that help create defined zones. On either side of the stone fireplace, integrated into the structure of the fireplace wall itself, not added beside it, but built as part of it, are two inglenook benches. Not as historical recreation, not as a nostalgic nod to a design tradition most people under 40 have never encountered. As a completely contemporary expression of the thing inglenooks were always for, making the fire a destination rather than just a feature. Each bench is 24 inches deep and 48 inches wide, deep enough to curl up on lengthways, wide enough for two adults to sit comfortably side by side. The bench surfaces are upholstered in a warm ivory bouclé, the looped fabric warm and thick and exactly the right texture against the dry stacked stone beside it. The contrast between the rough stone and the soft textile is the defining sensory moment of the whole fireplace wall. Cold precision and warm softness, neither one compromising the other. This fireplace sits low and grounded, framed by dark stone and soft vertical paneling. Paired with plush chairs, it creates a cozy corner that feels intentional and intimate. It is a modern take on comfort, where texture does the heavy lifting, bouclé, wood grain, and soft light all working together to create a layered calm. Above each bench, a recessed niche in the stone, carved directly into the quartzite wall, holds one object. Left niche, a single ceramic vessel in a warm clay glaze, 14 inches tall, with a dried botanical stem. Right niche, a small stack of 3 books, their spines facing outward. Nothing else. The restraint of one object per niche, against the immense visual weight of 17 feet of dry stacked stone, is the most confident design decision in this home. It says, we know what we have. We do not need to add to it. The great room beyond the fireplace wall was designed in response to it, not the other way around. In that sequence, fireplace first, room second, produces a living space that is oriented, purposeful, and deeply comfortable in a way that rooms designed from the outside and never quite achieve. It becomes the heart without needing to compete with the architecture around it. The room stretches outward while the fireplace pulls you back in. The seating arrangement in the great room is built around the fireplace with the precision of a diagram. 2 deep sofas facing each other across a large coffee table, both positioned at equal distance from the hearth, both at the same angle to the fireplace wall, so that the stone is visible from every seat without requiring anyone to turn their head. The sofas are in a warm oat performance linen, not bouclé, not velvet, but a plain weave linen in a tone that reads almost the same as the limestone floor beneath it. Everything in the room is warm and neutral. Everything is in service of the stone fireplace and the flame within it. The coffee table is a solid piece of oak, not refinished, not painted. The raw timber surface left is found with its natural character marks, saw marks, and grain variation completely visible. 3 feet by 5 feet, 6 inches thick. A piece of wood that looks like it was dragged from a forest and placed in this room rather than manufactured and delivered. Against the precision of the dry stacked quartzite, the rawness of the coffee table creates the same tension as the bouclé benches beside the firebox. This house is in constant, beautiful dialogue between precision and warmth. Scandi design remains a staple in American homes. A slim wood-burning insert paired with pale wood floors and woven textures creates an atmosphere of warmth and restraint. The neatly stacked logs, cozy for a rug, and natural light remind us why open flames remain so irresistible, even in an era of sleek electric alternatives. Beside the stone fireplace at hearth level, a neat stack of split oak logs. Not for decoration, for use. This fireplace burns wood. Real wood, split by hand on the property, stacked with the ends outward so the grain is visible, dried to the right moisture level for clean combustion. The stack is part of the design, the specific warmth and specificity of it. The proof that this fireplace is used, that it is not a showpiece, is the detail that makes the room feel most alive. The stone fireplace is the heart of this home, but the rest of the home does not stop at the fireplace wall. The material language, stone, warm plaster, limestone, raw timber, continues through every room. And the kitchen is where it becomes most extraordinary in its application. The subtle contrast of pale limestone with warm wood cabinetry nearby balances elegance with comfort. The kitchen cabinetry is solid white oak, the grain running vertically on every door and drawer face, the natural oil finish warm and alive. No paint, no stain, the wood as it is, in its honest state. The countertops are the same warm gray quartzite as the fireplace stone. Not the full wall treatment of the great room, but a honed slab countertop in the same material family, connecting kitchen to fireplace in a geological conversation that runs the length of the house. The kitchen island is different from the perimeter, a thick slab of the same raw oak as the great room coffee table. Its edges slightly live, its surface worn smooth in the middle where food has been prepared for long enough that the timber has taken on a patina. The island countertop and the coffee table are the same timber. The connection is felt rather than noticed. A warm thread of raw oak running from the great room to the kitchen. Above the kitchen island, 3 pendants in a hand-blown smoked glass with brass fittings. Warm, amber, slightly irregular, made by a glassblower rather than a manufacturer. At dinner, with the pendants at 60% and the fireplace visible from the dining table through the open great room beyond, this kitchen is one of the most extraordinary rooms to have a meal in. There is something about a stone fireplace in a bedroom that instantly slows everything down. Paired with exposed beams and soft morning light pouring through the windows, this space feels like a quiet countryside escape. The textures do all the talking here. Rough stone, warm wood, soft linen. The primary suite in this home has its own fireplace. Smaller than the great room stone fireplace. Not a statement, not a monument, but in the same dry stack quartzite, the same material, a family member of the great room fireplace rather than a copy of it. The bedroom fireplace sits at the center of the east wall at 36 inches wide and 28 inches tall, proportioned for a bedroom rather than a great room. It burns gas rather than wood. No smoke, no ash. The flame controlled by a wall-mounted switch that activates it in 30 seconds. On a cold morning, the bedroom fireplace comes on before the alarm, scheduled through a smart home system, so that by the time the occupants wake up, the room is warm and the stone wall is lit amber, and the day begins in the most extraordinary way available to any bedroom in 2026. This cozy corner feels intentional and intimate. It is a modern take on comfort, where texture does the heavy lifting, bouclé, wood grain, and soft light all working together to create a layered calm. Beside the bedroom fireplace, a deep armchair in a worn cognac leather, aged to a warm honey brown, the seats slightly compressed from use, the arms worn smooth at the points where hands rest, a floor lamp over the right shoulder of the chair, a small walnut side table at the right height for a book and a cup. This chair, beside this fireplace in this bedroom, at 7 in the morning with the first natural light coming through the east windows and the gas fire casting a moving warmth across the quartzite wall, is one of the most specific and most perfect places in any home we have ever stepped inside. Here it is. The detail about this stone fireplace that nobody notices on first look. The thing that makes it different from every other beautiful stone fireplace built in 2026. The detail I promised at the very beginning. The stone itself becomes a statement. Larger, irregular pieces fit together like a puzzle, creating movement and depth before you even notice the firebox. Look at the stone. Look closely at the dry stack quartzite as it rises from the limestone floor to the roof ridge. Look at the sizes of the pieces. At the bottom of the fireplace wall, where the stone meets the floor, the pieces are the largest. Some of them 18 inches long, 6 inches tall, thick and heavy, and completely grounding. As the eye travels upward, the stone pieces become progressively smaller. At the 8-foot mark, they are roughly half the size of the base stones. At 12 feet, they are smaller still. At the roof ridge, the pieces are the smallest, precise, almost tile-like in their scale, before the stone meets the ceiling beam and stops. This is not random variation. This is a technique called graduated dry stack, where the mason deliberately scales the stone size downward as the wall rises, producing an optical effect that makes the fireplace appear taller than it physically is. The eye interprets the scaling as perspective, the same visual cue that makes a receding road look longer when the lane markings reduce in size as they approach the vanishing point. The fireplace appears to recede upward. The ceiling appears further away than it is. The room appears taller, and the stone fireplace, already 17 feet of quartzite, appears taller still. It took the mason 5 days to lay the stone. The 6th day was spent adjusting the graduation, moving pieces, resizing sections, ensuring the scaling was correct from every seated position in the great room. Nobody who visits this home has ever noticed it. Everybody who has ever sat in this great room and looked at this fireplace has felt something extraordinary without being able to say why. Now you know why. So there it is. This cozy modern home with the dreamiest stone fireplace. A dry-stacked quartzite wall running 17 feet from limestone floor to roof ridge. Graduated in stone size from base to peak in a technique that makes the room appear taller than it is, that nobody notices and everybody feels. A 52-inch firebox burning real wood from the property, flanked by inglenook benches and warm ivory bouclé. A living room built around the fireplace rather than the fireplace added to the room. A kitchen in white oak and quartzite countertops that continues the material language from the great room without interruption. A primary suite with its own smaller quartzite fireplace that wakes up warm before the alarm. And throughout, the same conversation between precision and warmth, between rough stone and soft textile, between modern and cozy, that makes this home feel like nothing else. As 2026 unfolds, fireplaces are no longer just functional fixtures. They're the focal point, the standout feature, and the soul of every living space. The soul of every living space. In this home, that soul is 17 feet of dry-stacked quartzite, graduated piece by piece from base to ridge, with a firebox 52 inches wide and a bouclé bench on each side and a stack of real split oak logs waiting to be used. It is the dreamiest stone fireplace we have ever found, and now you know every single reason why. If this video made you want to build a stone fireplace this weekend, smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. Subscribe for extraordinary home tours, fireplace design deep dives, and the details that make beautiful spaces feel the way they do every single week. And drop a comment below. What hit you hardest about today's fireplace? The graduated dry stack technique, the inglenook bouclé benches, the 52-inch firebox, the bedroom fireplace, or the raw oak coffee table that ties it all together? I read every single one. See you inside the next extraordinary home.